Hey kids, how is everybody this evening out there in YouTube land, huh? As you can see, I am once again up on the deck of the Lily 2, enjoying a beautiful sundowner. Uh, and contemplating my navel. Anyhow, it got really hot earlier today. It has cooled off dramatically. It is now 84 degrees down below in the cabin, but a lot cooler than that out here right now. Wind blowing around 9 miles per hour or so. But just a beautiful evening nonetheless. As you can see here, we're enjoying. Hey Akula, how you doing? Did I miss anybody? Oh, let me set this to the right. The live chat. I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically, but yeah, Akula, you are always number one in my book, friend. You are always number one in my book. But anyhow, here we are on the good ship Lily 2. We got a boat working forward, so I guess he cleared it. But anyhow, they're out sailing in the day on the bay. Their dog's looking at my dog. Hey guys, how you doing? Woof woof, woof woof. Did that dog woof at you, huh? Did that dog woofing at you? Woof woof, woof woof. Get him, Lily. Get him. Woof, woof, woof. You gonna woof at him? You gonna woof at him? I don't think she's gonna woof at him, so. What do you think? You gonna woof at him? I tell you guys, Miss Lily is a very quiet dog. She really is, so. After everyone makes a big deal out of it. Yeah, right? Yeah, you're number one and now nobody says anything about it, so. Hey Don, hey Frank, how you doing, man? Hey Billy. Yeah, they've got a barky ass dog. My dog's a well-behaved dog. She does not woof at everything. She's a nosy dog. She's not a noisy dog. She's definitely not a noisy dog, so there she is. Miss Lily enjoying the breeze, enjoying the view. Definitely a sailing dog. Miss Lily is definitely a sailing dog. She does enjoy being out on the boat. She really enjoys walking out on the bow and just sitting on the bow and enjoying the view. I have caught her a couple of times where she'll just go up on the bow and sit there and just look at the boats in the bay and enjoy the breeze blowing by. She does love it on the boat, Akula. She really does. You know, I've been around my dog for her entire life, 2.5 years. And I have to tell you, she really enjoys being on the boat more than she enjoyed being in the cabin in Alaska, more than she enjoyed being in Ohio with Johanna. Even though there she had a yard to run around, in Alaska she had 80 acres to run around on. I've never known her to be so happy and content as she is here on the boat. So, and she really is curious about all the stuff floating by. I've noted, like right now, see her? Okay, she's just moved, but see what she does? She's going up on the bow. She'll sit there and she'll look straight down in the water and look at all the stuff floating by in the water. She really wants to jump in there and grab some of that stuff, but she just doesn't do it. And that reminds me, I'm going to do a video, maybe tomorrow morning I'll do that. I don't know if you guys can see it. You see up there on the bow, that metal thing sticking up there? That's the old boarding ladder. That's the original boarding ladder for the boat. And it actually mounts right over there on the side. It mounts right there on the side. And I'm thinking about trying to weld up or bolt on some sort of a swim platform for her, so that if she jumps in, she's got a platform she can climb up onto and then be able to jump back up on the boat. So I'm trying to figure that out. I may go into more detail in a video later on this week with that, but that's going to be one of my next improvement jobs I'm going to work on here on the boat. So let me see what I'm missing in the chat. Hey Carolyn, how are you doing? That's because you're happy. I certainly am, Don. She's outside more on the boat. You know, Akula, you're right. And you know, even up there in Alaska where we had our 80 acres, she likes being out around in the boat all the time. So, hey, pilot, what's up? Oh, you know what? Oh, what did I miss? Did I miss somebody? I missed somebody. Yeah, no, 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 no. That's not what I want to do. No. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to do a little update. So, yes, good idea. That might work. Okay. 5H. Will the 5H work for you? Sealy Shannon just asked me through another venue, will the 5H work for me? Yes, I think the 5H rope will. It's a little light for what I'm using it for anchor line, but I do think the 5H line would work. So, okay. With that said, hello Caroline, peaceful dawn. Because you're happy, coolish. Yep, everybody. Hey pilot. Hey Mark. Hey Smoking. What's up? Yeah, that's a good idea. That might work. You have some pretty big storms rolling in tomorrow afternoon, Carl, just in case you haven't heard. Yes, pilot, of course I've heard. I've been watching them now for days as they are forecast and planning on coming in. Right now, it looks like we're not going to get anything more than about 13-mile-an-hour winds, but they're saying gusts between 10 and 20. Now, tomorrow, I'm supposed to go over to Doug's house and weld on the push pit. As you see, the push pit's not here. We're supposed to get the welding done tomorrow morning, and I've asked Doug to pick me up very early tomorrow so I can get back to the boat early, because I really want to make sure I'm on the boat while those high winds are coming through. Worst case scenario, I can always start the engine and be able to control the boat. I have a lot of confidence, however, in my new 33-pound Rockna, more confidence in it probably than I should have. And I'm in the process of setting up my little 15-pound fisherman's anchor once again as a backup anchor. Not that it's a good backup anchor. I mean, it's more of like a day anchorage anchor. It's a good anchor if I'm just going to pull in someplace and grab a lunch or something, and I don't want something really heavy out. What I really need to invest in as funds become available, you know, time and funds become available, I really need to find like a 60, 70-pound storm anchor. You know, something that I can drop and set that I don't care what goes on, a hurricane goes on, it's going to stick to the bottom. But if I do that, I also have to work on my cleats up on my bow to make sure that they're adequately secure to be able to handle that kind of stuff. I mean, I need some serious stuff. I'm almost thinking about doing a situation where I run a bridle up through the bow, tied off to the bow cleats, and then have the lines run aft, and then connect to my drums back here and my cleats back here, because I'm going to be reinforcing these cleats. My stern cleats are all going to get reinforced. There's one of the viewers, Tickleby Finn, has stamped out some aluminum plates for me for backing plates. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to reset these with some serious heavy-duty plating behind them, so I've got a really secure situation. So anyhow, what did I miss in the chat wall? This has been going on. Smoking, hey peaceful, switch to live. Yes, I've already done that, pilot. Thank you. I am at live. At least the temps will drop after tomorrow. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it got hot today. It was 96 degrees on the boat earlier today. Cleats nest, yes, Smoking. That's the next thing. And then what do you do after the cleats? I don't know. I think after the cleats, you know, maybe I need to put a big stanchion post up in the bow. I know. Let me adjust you guys so you're not so cattywonker. There you go. Sealy Shannon, one of my subscribers, is sending me a windlass, an anchor windlass. How cool is that? But I'm going to have to do a lot of mods up on the bow for that. I'm going to have to strengthen that and put a huge backing plate up underneath that dog. Big palooka. She just knocked the camera over. I'm going to have to put some serious reinforcement in behind that to hold that. And then that's going to feed directly down into the chain locker. So, I don't know. Big changes coming up on the bow. We'll see how all that pans out. Okay, there's some guy on a bayliner coming by. He's coming along my stern, thankfully. He's not going to run over my bow and run over my anchor line again. You guys might want to see that. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can get this where you can see it. You guys see the sailboats? Yeah. I'm afraid the wind's pushing me around in the wrong angle. They're all right out on my bow right now, but I'll try to get some footage of the sailboats out there. They're having a little evening race out there. So, hey, Kenneth Thomas, how you doing? What's the conditions of your sails? My conditions of my sails are they are original from 1974. They're functional. They're threadbare. They're old. They're crinkly, but they do work. So, you have a storm anchor. You're a 33-pound Rockna. That is overkill on your boat. Yeah, cool. I'm hoping that is the case. I'm hoping that is the case. I actually got into some semantics with some people in my chat. We were comparing the fact that Rand Sailing bought a 55-pound Rockna as their main anchor, and for their size boat, you know, they are 17,000 pounds if I remember correctly, and I'm 8,000 pounds. So proportionately, my little 33-pound Rockna is actually a much bigger anchor per scale for my 29-foot boat than their 55 is for their 40-foot boat. So just having fun with numbers and trying to lay it out there and see whose anchor is bigger. You know how that is. All of us guys always try to brag we're the biggest, you know. Hey, Grandpa, William, Pilot. Okay, hey, Kelly, what's up? Oh, come on, iPhone, don't do that. My iPhone, for some reason, when it gets out in bright sunlight, dims the screen. It's like exactly the opposite thing I need for it to do. I need for it to get brighter and not dimmer. So, hey, Mary. Tie a small fender to your anchor line 10 to 15 feet out. Yeah, Mark, I'm actually going to do just the opposite of that. I'm going to put I'm actually going to try to buy a buoy and a line that I can, well, I have lines, but I'm going to try to buy a small buoy that I can put as a trip line on my anchor. So, quick mention of the troll, just like, what the fuck are you doing in the background? Just watching Creepy No. What are you talking about, Don? I don't know what you're talking about, Don, so. My boat is 20,000 pounds, use a 45-pound. Okay, cool. I have all the chain, no rope. Yep, I wish I had all the chain, but I have to pull mine in by hand. So, hey, Christine. Hope all is well. All is well. Guys, I'm going to try to do something real quick. I'm going to try to improve the brightness of my screen real quick. So if I interrupt the live stream, I will restart it, but it's very difficult for me to see my screen right now. So give me a second. Let me see if I can. Are we still there? Damn, I tried to. I'm live. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I tried to get my screen to go a little brighter. It's as bright as it can go. I don't know why my cell phone darkens the screen under bright light, but it makes it very difficult to see or read anything. You need to be careful with those sails. 44-year-old sails are just bed sheets. They will tear in anything around 15 knots. Could be dangerous, especially being a single-handed. Yeah, probably. Almost all the Binkleys are here. Yay, yep. That anchor is fine. Just need to make sure it is connected solid to the boat. It is connected solid to the boat, as solid as my, oh, I got an itch. As solid as my cleats may in fact be, so. All right, let me see here. Mike Smith says, I agree, Peaceful. I watched a video from someone who knows Carl, and there were some comments made by very two-faced people. Yeah, well, that stuff goes on all the time, Mike. You know, not a whole lot I can do about it, so. You've seen that too, Mike Smith. Yep. Old sails are fine if stored outside. UV light is what kills them. Yep. Take the auto screen brightness off. Take the auto screen brightness off. Okay, Rick. Hey, Rick, how you doing, cuz? Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Brittany, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, kid? Glad to see you here. So, yeah, I'll try to work on the screen brightness later, but Not 45-year-old sales. Well, 1974. So 1974, so 74, 84, 94, 2004, 2014. So yeah, 40 something years old, right? 40 something years old. Man, now I feel old. I graduated high school in 77. That was a long time ago. So anyhow, hey, Brittany says, hey guys, anywhere but Alaska. There you go. Mike Smith agreed. All right. So anyhow, guys, tonight I am drinking sort of a light and stormy. Mike had given me a bottle of Malibu Red, a bottle of stuff called Malibu Red. Apparently, it is rum and tequila and coconut liqueur all mixed together. And so I dumped on top of that a can of ginger beer and a little lime juice. So I'm sort of making an ersatz sort of light and stormy tonight. And I got to tell you, I really needed that tonight. I've had a headache all day today. Haven't been eating much. I have a headache, and so I just needed to. Okay, I can't see this. Nice hair. Well, thanks, Brittany. You like that? You know, they say, I personally thought the beard was better. Okay, well, it's growing back. It is growing back. Those sailors old as me, I'm broken. The sails will be blown out, misshapen, and unreliable. It goes with the age. Well, Mike, you know, that's kind of like me, I guess. You know, I'm misshapen, I'm unreliable. Those sails are perfect for me, man. And you know what? It's what I own already, so it's what's on the boat. That's what I'm going to have. So, glad I'm not the only one drinking. There you go. Hey, Dick, how you doing, man? Brittany, you're still coming to visit the boat. Yes, good question, though, Plastic. Carl, when winter comes in the Northeast, do you have a plan? Yes, get the hell out of the Northeast. That's my plan. I'm not going to be here. It's the same plan I have for hurricanes, guys. You know, the best way to survive hurricanes is don't be where hurricanes are. The best way to survive the cold is don't be where the cold is. So, yeah, when it starts getting cold here, I can assure you I will be heading south. In fact, I'm planning on being at the Annapolis Boat Show, which is the first week of October. I think October like 5th to the 8th or something like that. So I'm going to be at Annapolis, and then after that, I'm going to make my way down to Florida and the Keys and then the Bahamas. And to all the haters and naysayers out there, you know I don't have 50,000 subscribers. I know my channel isn't growing, but I have a really good group of people that love and care about me, and I have just enough money coming in as a result of that to survive on my little Pitland budget. And if you can't accept the fact that I'm living out here on a shoestring budget, well, that's your problem, not mine. I mean, I'm sitting here, okay, right over there in the background behind me, you see those trees in the background? That's an area known as Sands Point, New York, kids. You know who lives in Sands Point, New York, or used to live in Sands Point, New York? The Guggenheims and the Vanderbilts. This town is the median priced house in Port Washington is somewhere in the $800,000 range. This is a very affluent neighborhood. This is one of the best addresses in the world as far as a nice, affluent, high-end neighborhood. You know, I mean, the marinas over here, I called one of the marinas over here and asked what their rate would be for the season. It was $135 a foot to spend the season at the marina, just to spend the summer there. You know, so that would be like well over $3,000 for me to put my boat in a slip over here just for the summer. I'm anchored out here in the bay, and it cost me zero, zip, nothing. So I could stay here all summer long, not a problem. Already spoke to the harbor master, not a problem. I can anchor here all summer long, and it doesn't cost me a dime to stay here. I utilize the water taxi because they're just really comfortable and convenient, and I don't fit in my dinghy. So I use them to get back and forth to shore. That cost me, you know, I don't know, maybe 16, maybe 24 bucks a week or something like that to use the water taxi 2 or 3 times a week. That's all I use them normally. Now this weekend I did use them twice, Saturday and Sunday, but normally I don't use them that much. It costs next to nothing to stay here, and it's a beautiful anchorage, guys. Look at this, okay? And notice all the maps. Look at all the sailboats. Okay, this is a sailing community. This is not just a boating community. This is a community. This is a sailing destination. For being here on the east coast of the United States, this is as much of a sailing destination as is the British Virgin Islands. A whole crap load of restaurants that are right on the waterfront here. Louis over here, and La Palma's over there, and what the hell's the name of the Italian place over here? There's a whole bunch of restaurants that I could literally take my boat and tie up at their dock and go inside and eat. There's grocery stores directly across the street from the dock. West Marine has its own store right here in town. This is a sailing community, and all the resources are here. So, and I'm living here for 25 bucks. Actually, I'm living here for nothing. It would be 25 bucks a night if I was in a mooring ball, but I'm here for nothing. So they're having a little mini regatta out there. Can you guys see it? Sorry. The wind just whipped me around again. Sorry I couldn't film that. They're out there past my bow. Let me see what I missed on the chat here. Money doesn't make happiness, experiences, and loved you. Very good, Brittany. I agree with that completely. I find the similarity between affluent and affluent strangely similar in many ways. Yeah, that's true, Mike. I agree too, Carl, on the living thing. Yeah. Is this the Brittany that visited with you? Yes, that's the same Brittany that visited with me in Sandusky. If you ship too much, maybe. Okay, I don't know what that's all about, but hey, y'all, accept the fact, Big Carl. Thank you. We can run no plastic. I'm lost. Maybe it's the wine I'm sipping. Okay, I guess I missed a lot of stuff in the chat. Mike, you're right. The draft at them would be 100 feet behind the boat. Best to use the blue tarp. The draft in them would be 100 feet behind the... What are you talking about, Randy? When winter comes... Okay, so yeah, when winter comes, I have a plan. All right, so go back to all that. Nice boats out there. Yes, very nice neighborhood. That is so true, Brittany. Okay. No, LOL, I've had a glass. I'm just being me. Always something interesting going on in this woman's brain. There you go, Brittany. I like that. Thanks, Mr. D. Yes, Christine. So if you would take your dinghy ashore instead of the water taxi, would it cost to tie up? No, Kim, it would not. If I used my dinghy to go ashore, and actually, Kim, I kind of wish I had the funds. You know, what would be ideal right here would be for me to buy like a little 13-foot, 12, 13-foot Boston whaler, and I could use my little outboard motor on it. That would be like an ideal dinghy for me to have here. Or just a 10-foot rib, something with a solid floor in it would also work. So, okay, yep, okay. Just love. If you have love, you will be happy. There you go. Is there a time limit you can stay? No, Carolyn, there's no time limit whatsoever. Carl, no need to explain yourself to the loyal viewers. Oh, I know that, man. She laughed about visiting you on the boat. Yeah, I know. She hasn't given a solid answer yet, has she? If you're heading south for the winter, will you head back north for the summer? Yes. Well, maybe. Maybe, Randy. It all depends. It all depends. No, I'm laughing at people saying I drank too much because I just started when the stream started. Okay. What's up with that no plastic? I don't know. Okay, like, all right, I caught up with the chat. So, anyhow, yeah, I still haven't heard whether or not Brittany is going to join us or not. She was talking about coming out the first week of August. And so if she's going to, I need to know fairly soon because I need to move a bunch of stuff and make room for her. Of course, right now we're still in the midst of all of our projects. And the biggest project is getting this welding done so I can get the whole boat put back together. I mean, literally the whole stern of the boat is tore up right now and asunder while I'm waiting for those push pit parts to get welded so I can put this back together again. And for some reason, Douglas doesn't seem to be here tonight. I don't know why. So, Yeah, the progress on the refit is going very slow, Dick. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's really not that slow. I've only been here 3 weeks. I've got a couple jobs done. We've got a lot of stuff organized that's now falling into place. So I guess it's coming along okay. It just always takes a lot longer than what you think. So I had my first drink of helium beer. Funny, huh? I'll be right back. Okay, Brittany will be right back. So, huh. Anyhow, beautiful day out here in the bay. Dog and I are having fun. Today, as I said in this morning's live stream, I was just going to take it easy this morning, and that's what I did. I just took it easy today. I did that video this morning of me doing the short splice on my anchor rod. I still have 70 feet of anchor line out, but now I have the ability of putting out more. I have not gone forward and finished whipping the ends of that yet. I may do that tomorrow morning. It all depends on what's going on with Douglas. I know Douglas is having his dialysis right now. He should be at dialysis, getting his dialysis done. And I hope everything's good for him. I haven't heard from him in a day or so, so I hope it's all going good. But hopefully tomorrow we're going to weld those push pit pieces together and get them here on the boat. I also need to pick up another quart of oil for the generator, so I'm prepared to do the next oil change on it. Another thing I have to pick, and I want to get a better funnel for it. I need a kind of an odd shaped funnel for that, so I'll have to look into that. But beautiful day out here. Are you guys getting a lot of wind noise on the camera? I was wondering about that, because where I'm at, it's pretty breezy out here. I'm wondering if you guys are getting a lot of wind noise in the camera. Most of the boats that were anchored out around me have left. You can see the sunset happening here behind me. Most of the boats that were anchored around behind me, they've all taken off already, so. Let's see what I missed in the chat. Be right back. Sailors' plans are always written in the sand. That's right, Dick. Absolutely. It could be sponsored by Malibu Strings. Probably could. Not bad wind. Okay, good. No fine. All right, good. Just a little noise, not much. Good. Does the Gen app record operating hours? Yes, Akula, it does. Yes, it does. You know, let me clarify that. It does, but I don't think it's accurate. I run the generator a lot more than what it says I run the generator. So, not that it's noticed as far as background wind noise. Okay. Synthetic oil for the gen set. Yeah, I'd like to have some 10W30 synthetic. So, what's Malibu Strings? They're a bikini manufacturer. Do you prefer 2 deep reefs in the main or 3 shorter reefs for offshore sailing? I prefer 2 deep. Yeah, I would agree with that, Randy. I prefer 2 deep reefs in the sail. Just sort of keep it simple. I'm single-handing and I'm cruising. I'm not a race boat. I don't have to fine-tune it that much. 2 reefs is more than enough for me. What the hell? All of a sudden my drink jumped out of the glass. The little chillins are out there racing. Can you see them? Those are the big kids at the yacht club out in their one design class. I'm sorry. The winds just got me pointed right at where they're racing. It makes it very difficult for me to record them from here. So. Okay, back I drew first, okay. Randy Leahy, not Ricky. Evening, okay. One way, so farmer tan is very noticeable. Oy vey, yes it is. Malibu Strings is used by Laura on sailing doodles, okay. My opinion is to change oil at half the recommended intervals. Recommended intervals are under perfectly ideal circumstances. Apples doubly to modern cars, just my opinion. Yeah, Mike, I kind of agree with that. My excursion was always rated at 5,000 miles. I always change it at 3. We got 6'8" of rain today. Crappy out. Oh man, that's bad, Steve. Carl, you should buy a bikini for a little. That's sick. That's sick, Woodbeast. That's like twisted, man. When the lines led to cockpit, be better, safer for single handing. Not necessarily, because I would have to run the reefing lines back and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So I don't have it set up that way now. What was your longest offshore passage? On this boat, 0. I have not had a long offshore passage on this boat. Please explain Randy's comments for us non-sailors. Okay. Well, which one, David? You mean the long offshore passage? I'm not sure which one you want me to explain to you, Randy. I think long offshore passage is pretty self-explanatory. Maybe those yacht club guys gave you a hard time because they thought your yacht wasn't up to their standards. Oh, Don, no. Okay, are you referring to when I pulled over to the dock and the guy was giving me a hard time about going over? I was going over to the, I was not going over to the yacht club's dock. I was going over to the dock at the service yard, and the guy wanted to know why I was going over the service yard. Both me and Al, the rigger, couldn't figure out what the guy's problem was. But yeah, maybe so. Maybe us, vagabond type liveaboard cruisers aren't fancy enough for him, I guess. Maybe so. The stream is good. My phone is in sync with the TV. Okay. Hey, Woody. Enjoyed the rigging and splice video earlier. Rock on, dude. Thanks, Woody. I appreciate that. The reefing question. Yeah, David. Okay, so the reefing question. Sailboats have what's known as reefs in the sail. Now, what that enables me to do, and I'm going to aim up here at the mast. When I raise the sail, I raise it all the way up to the mast, which is, my boat is 36 feet up in the air. I have the ability of shortening the mast, so I can leave my full mast out, my full sail out under normal light conditions. Once the wind gets up to a certain mile per hour, where the wind is getting certain strength, I reduce my sail by taking in a reef. In other words, I pull my main sail down a little bit, shortening it, reducing the strength that it has. Okay, by reefing the sail, I'm shortening the sail. I'm making it smaller so it doesn't have as much strength to move the boat forward. If the wind picks up even further, I can put what's known as a second reef in the sail, which means I can shorten the main sail even more. So normally, like conditions like I'm in right now, I would just have my full main out. 9 knots of wind, I would run the full main, and the boat would be beautifully powered, and we would be sailing along beautifully. If the wind got up to like 15, 16 miles per hour, I would take one reef in, well, maybe even 12, 13 miles an hour. I would take one reef in and somewhat shorten my sail down. Kind of like backing off the throttle in your car, okay? Easing up on the gas pedal, if you will. On the sailboat, the way we control that was be the angle of the sail, but also with how much sail we have exposed. So by taking in one reef, I'm basically shortening the sail by a couple of feet. By taking in a second reef, I'm shortening the sail by another couple of feet as well. Those reefs could be 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot intervals apart, depending on the sail manufacturer and how they lay it out. Now, conversely, my boat has 2 sails. I have my main sail, which you see right here, the sail bag. But also out here, you'll see that line going up and down. That's my head sail. And my head sail also has the ability to reef, only it's on something called a roller furling, which actually rolls the sail up like a roll of paper towels. I can roll the sail back up and shorten it. And with my roller furling, I can infinitely control that. I do that actually with this line here. This mess of line sitting here next to me, because I'm not organized with it right now. I have it set for my roller furling on my head sail, and I can control that infinitely. I can make that any size I want to, and so I can overpower or underpower the boat with that, and that kind of balances the boat sails. So I hope you guys understand what that is. We can go over that more later on as we go into detail with that. 3 short leaves, 2 longs. A reef point is a reef point, and I am about to be schooled. Okay. Is your boom set up for jiffy reefing? No, it is not. So when it's all the way up, it's more speed, and the lower, the less speed. Yeah, it's not necessarily speed, but power. It reduces the ability of the wind to get a hold of the sail. So More sails, more speed. Okay. Are you frigged enough now to take a trip around the bay? Yeah, I guess I could sail around the bay. I have no wish to sail around the bay right now, but I could. More sail exposed, more power in general. Yes, that's true. I've seen on YouTube placing a sock on the bottom of the phone works well as a windscreen for the mic. Okay. Well, my only problem with doing that, apparently you're getting more wind noises. If I put a sock on my phone, it's also going to block where my phone displays the chat. So that wouldn't necessarily work for me on my phone. So the fuller the sail, the faster. Yes, the more sail up, the faster we're going to be able to go given on any particular given wind. If I reduce the size of the sail, then we slow the boat down. We reduce the power in the wind. Well, I guess technically we reduce the boat's ability to convert that wind power into forward thrust. That's what you do by lowering the sail. So, dog, don't you even think about knocking over my drink. I'm almost empty as it is. So what I missed in the chat. So, his phone will smell awful. Steve, that's absolutely for sure, yeah. The fuller the sail, the faster. That's the whole difference conversation. The fuller the sail, that's what she said. The fuller the sail, the faster, Mike. So both head and main together is cruising. Yep, absolutely. You're booking. Just a little bit, not the whole phone. Yeah, okay. More sails, more speed, and then there's the boat is pushed sideways. Tilt. With the tilt, the sail area is getting less. Well, yes, Dick, that's absolutely correct. Yes. To some degree, sailboats are sort of self-healing. Healing as in H-E-A-L, as opposed to H-E-E-L. If the wind blows too much, the sailboat will just lean over, and the wind will blow past the sail and not into it. So it's sort of a natural ability that sailboats are designed to have to oversee or to protect ignorant sailors from having too much sail up. So Felix says rain clouds. I don't think so. The sail works just like a wing on a plane. Yes, Steve, it absolutely does to some degree, yes. Not fuller or flatter, okay. My dad has helped me learn also, John Harris. Good, Brittany. Mike, sail trim could go on forever about that for sure. Yes, absolutely. We could sit here and talk about sail trim till the cows come home, and I don't have any cows, so it'd be a while. Please indulge us and take us for a sail around the bay soon. I'm not planning on doing that, but we'll see. A lot of talk about sailing, and why not take her for an evening trip? It's just not that easy. I mean, my boat is not set up right now for sailing, guys. I have a whole bunch of stuff out for working on the boat. I've got tools, my countertops down there. I've got everything out scattered all over the boat. I've got a pile of stuff here in the cockpit. I mean, look at my cockpit. I've got trash, I've got generators, I got buckets, I got cardboard boxes waiting to go to the trash. I got water jugs needed filled. I got a whole bunch of stuff in my way. It's not just a matter of, untying the line and putting the sail up. It would take me half an afternoon to prepare the boat to be able to go sailing right now. It's a big ordeal. I'm not in sailing mode right now. I'm in working on the boat mode. So, okay, give you guys an equivalent. It would be like having your car in the shop, having all 4 tires off, and in the middle of a brake job, and all of a sudden you decide to go for a drive around the neighborhood. Just not going to happen, okay? Tilt is controlled by the traveler. To some degree, yes it is. Fuller light wind, flatter, heavier wind. Yep. Hey, Lisa. It'll be cool to go for a sail. River says hi. Hey, River, how you doing, man? Heel was the word, I'm sorry. Yes, heel. Yes, soon. I knew I saw cardboard. Yep. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff that I ordered that came in, and of course it gets delivered in cardboard, because that's when you order stuff through Amazon, it comes in cardboard. So, how fast does this boat go? This boat goes about 6 knots. So 6 to 7 miles per hour basically is how fast my boat goes. Oh, that's just yummy. That's just yummy. Okay, that's what Lisa wanted to know, how fast is the book. All right, we're caught up with the chat again. Where are we at with the sunset? Look at that, huh? That not pretty? Sun going down here in Manhasset Bay, man. Oh, that definitely depends on what we're talking about. Okay. It with those sails. What does that mean, it with those sails? Not with those sails. Yeah, well, maybe. Yes, okay. I was talking about my hull speed is usually about 6 to 7 knots hull speed on this boat. I don't know. We'll see how fast it goes with my sails. We'll see. I don't know yet. So, Randy, I can tell you that I have pretty good head sails on the boat. Let me set this over here without the dog knocking it over. My head sails are a much newer shape. They're in pretty good shape. It's my mainsail that's pretty old and saggy, but you know, I'm old and saggy, and so that's fine. There's some real yentas. There's some real yentas on this channel that worry about the smallest things. Yes, Frank, that is the case. Hey, Jared, how you doing, man? The drink of choice tonight is sort of an ersatz light and stormy, Jared. It's Malibu Red, which is a combination of rum and tequila and coconut liqueur, mixed in with a little bit. Get out of the way, dog. Sit. You're blocking the camera. Sit. Sit. It's mixed in with a little bit of ginger beer and lime juice for making a light and stormy. So that's what we're doing. Lisa wants to know, how old are you? Lisa, on August 11th, I will turn 60, the big 60. Mike Smith says, opinion for the peeps, quite liking a design called a Revolution 38. Similar hull design as a Freedom 40. Has anyone sailed, seen, or have an opinion? I do not. I don't know about anybody else, but Steve Giver got to go. Hey, take care, Steve. How was the beautiful crescent moon and Venus combo where you're at? Oh, last night, Brittany, it was insane. It was insane. All right, the dog's just in the way. Sorry, guys. Yeah, last night it was insane. I actually, you know, where I sleep in the cockpit, I can look straight up through the hull. I pulled the tarp back. You can see the tarp I have here. I pulled the tarp back so I could look up, and I could see the crescent moon and Venus all lined up. It was just beautiful last night. Crystal clear night. It was really cool being able to look out and see that. So, glow stick lady is back. Okay, last night, I mean Sunday. Hello, David. Glow stick country cruiser. It was seriously captivating. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Well, happy birthday in advance. Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Why don't sleep in the cockpit? You sleep in the salon. Because the seats in the cockpit aren't really wide enough for my fat butt, and the salon's very comfortable. So it has nice cushions down there. Don't bring me in it. Okay. Man, so perfect. Yep. Mike, Freedom Yachts are very good boats. Never heard of a Revolution, though. It was awesome. I was watching here in Oz. No light pollution and winter air so clear. Nice, Mike. That was cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing the crescent moon. And it was, you know, for some reason it reminded me of the Russian flag. I don't know why. I guess is that the Russian or the Chinese? One of those countries has the crescent moon and the star. It was just kind of cool. So, yeah, isn't that a beautiful sunset happening? Little red colors in that. I don't know why it's red. It's going to be raining tomorrow, but it's not going to rain till tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be nice in the morning. All right. I really need to get to my content. What I want to talk about, I titled this live stream tonight, the pluses and minuses of living aboard. And so I want to kind of deal with that a little bit. Because a lot of you guys are sort of living vicariously through me. A lot of you guys want to go sailing and want to have a better understanding of what the life is like. And so Crescent Moon reminded me of South Carolina, where I live there and love nature. Just great. Okay. Designed the Ben Langston, okay. Anyhow, so what I was talking about, pluses and minuses. Okay. I love living on my sailboat. I really do. There are some things, though, that are irritating about being on the sailboat. One thing, when you're on a sailboat, your boat is in constant motion. It never stops moving, even at nighttime, even when the wind drops down. Anytime a boat goes by any anchorage, it throws up a wake and your boat rolls and rocks. So when you're living aboard a sailboat, you have to understand that your boat is constantly in motion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are some times you just want to sit still. So that's one issue, but on the other side of that coin, okay, when I go to sleep on the sailboat, it's like being a baby in a cradle rocking me to sleep. That movement in the boat, of the boat rocking back and forth, I sleep like a rock on the boat. I really do. I've only got a very small, like 3-inch, sort of an old, flattened 3-inch foam cushion that I sleep on as a mattress on top of a plywood deck. So not a lot of cushion. But I'll tell you what, I sleep like a baby on that, and my back has been great with it, with that nice firm back. So that's one thing. Another thing that you have to deal with, because the boat's in constant motion. When you go to drink something, your drink, you see how my drink is moving up and down in the cup like that? You don't just get to sip like you do when you're sitting on land. You sit there and all of a sudden you'll get a lot of liquid and none, and a lot of liquid and then none. So you have to learn to gulp when you drink. You open your mouth big, open your mouth wide, you fill it full of liquid, and you gulp that down, because that's what you have to do when your boat's moving all the time. Comes in both cutter rig and fetch. Okay, yep, good sleeping though, yep. Whole speed of the Cal 29 is 6.6 knots. Okay. Certainly some good sailors and ahs. That certainly is. And you know the guy took the America's Cup home for us. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Cabin cruisers in a dock are conducive to insomnia. Okay. They all sail for New Zealand. Interesting. I'll look those up. Sippy cup, yeah. Yep, firm bed, probably better for your back anyway. Certainly is palm limit. Hello, wine lover. The square footage to keep cleaned up is much smaller, but it comes with constant maintenance. Yes, and the square footage is a lot to maintain. It's not easy to get at. Your floor isn't flat. You know, the floor of my boat is a curved surface. And then, of course, you have all the deck up on top, so there's a lot to clean. There's a lot to keep after. But does the cabin get humid? If you don't open up the front hatch and stuff, it can get humid, yes. But if you open the front hatch, you always have a pretty good, well, not always, but I would say 85 to 90% of the time, we always have a good breeze blowing through the boat. I don't know if you can see it from here, but let me see if I can raise up. Right there is my forward hatch. I have my forward hatch open just a little, not all the way up, but just a little, and that scoops the cool air down. That cool air comes, hits the floor of the main salon, and then comes out through the cockpit. The wind just blows right through the boat, so it keeps it kind of cool down below. So, hey Gene, how you doing? Hey, all of a sudden my phone got brighter again. Imagine that. One last annoying question. In the States, you have those fold-away beds, stand up against the wall. What are they called, and could they work on a yacht? I think you're referring to like a Pullman's type bed, and no, those could not work on my yacht, not the way my boat is set up. So, yeah, no room for one. Nice video with the rigger day. Oh, I'm glad you like that, Gene. Thank you. Yeah, Murphy bed. That's another name for a Murphy bed. Yep. Yeah, Murphy beds would not work on a sailboat. You don't have any place, you don't have a wall to fold it up against. So, Mike Smith's called Murphy bed. Okay, everyone calls them Murphy beds. All right, there you go. We set this down. Hopefully the dog won't knock it over. When are you going to get the lifelines back on the boat? Brittany, I'm waiting on, hopefully tomorrow, Douglas and I are going to do the welding. Then I've got to cut the 2 access panels here in the starboard side. so I can do the fiberglass work. I'm also waiting on some aluminum plates that are being mailed to me that I could use as backing plates for all the rigging that's going to go on. Sit. And so once I get those here, then I'll be able to get all of the lifelines back up. So I don't know. It depends on the mail. I'm kind of at the whim of waiting on stuff to get here. So missed my pop's 20-foot Trojan and motor yacht. Okay, Rob. Cool. Hello, Robin. Welcome. Glad you're here. So yeah, so I don't have an answer for that yet. And that's the problem with working on the boat. You know, a lot of people are frustrated that I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sailing right now. You know, I'm waiting on stuff. So Australia peaceful, we don't have them here, but they look like a great idea. Researching options. Okay, invest in gimbal cup holders. Yeah, actually what I've been thinking about smoking is I'd love to get something that could secure right around this part of the steering console, and if I could find something that would fit right around that steering console, that, you know, where I could hold drink holders. Right now I don't have any, so they're mostly in old movies and extremely small apartments in the city. Okay. Carl, I'm replacing all my cushions with 6-inch memory foam. Ah, cool. I wish I had the budget for that. My dog heard Lily and looked up at the iPad. Yeah, Miss Lily wants me to stop live streaming and pet her. That's what she wants. You can see her there. She's contemplating going. Go on, Kennel. Go on. She's going to go down below and lay in her bed. See how well this lasts, or does she come right back up? I don't know. She sometimes will go down, turn around, and come right back up. So all phones have an auto brightness and manual brightness. You can set to manual and it'll stay at that brightness. Okay, I'll do that, Rick. I first saw it. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. I first saw it in Two Broke Girls. I think they would work well on a boat, small space living. Okay. Yeah, see what she did? Look at that. See the dog? Oh, dog. That's where I normally sit, down below. She went down and got in my seat and sitting there now. So she'll take a breather for a bit. Mike, you don't have the wall space on a boat. That's true, Mike, you do not. Yep. Welcome to boat ownership. It's more work on the boat than sailing. That's right, Dick. It absolutely is. And people just need to understand that. So mount the cup holders with big hose clamps. Dad said that, John. Okay, Brittany. Good to know. So, yeah, and actually, you know, you talk about that. I want to touch base on something real quick. I had a conversation with a couple people today, and they were talking about, you know, oh, my channel's getting boring. I've been here too long. I'm not sailing anymore, not going anywhere. And, you know, I've been, as of tomorrow, I will have been here in Port Washington for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Delos has been in Brazil for 3 months. No one complains about them not going anywhere. They've been in Brazil for 3 months. That's just the way it is, guys. Sometimes you get someplace, you drop the hook, you spend a little time there, you enjoy it. That's what I'm doing right now. My channel, I've only been on my boat for what? 65 days now, 70 days. It's crazy. People are upset with me because I'm not going someplace right now. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I came here to Port Washington to do a in-the-water refit, and I'm doing an in-the-water refit. So it is what it is. Yeah, 110 people watching, only 23 thumbs up. Come on, guys, pound the thumbs up. I'm complaining about Delos. They need to get going. All right. I'll tell them. I'll make sure that your word gets to them, huh? Yeah, that's gonna happen. No, I mean, it just doesn't make sense, guys. You know, people, I know, like one of my guys that, you know, I thought was pretty friendly with me. He's certainly been very helpful with getting the boat organized. And he's all of a sudden, well, you're not sailing. I want to watch videos about sailing. And I'm like, well, this is sailing. This is the reality of sailing. My channel is all about the reality of it. This is why I do so many live streams. It's unscripted. It's real. This is what's happening as of the moment. And when you live aboard a sailboat and you're got to work on it sometimes, and it takes time. You know, the other YouTube channels, I don't think you guys realize what goes on with them because they only put out 1 video a week. so you're not current with what they're doing, and some of them are, you know, 4, 5, 6 months behind. So the videos they're putting out now is what they were doing 4, 5, 6 months ago. You know, my channel is sort of raw and uncut, so a lot of people misinterpret what's going on. They think I'm just, you know, here not doing anything, but you know, they just got to get real with what's actually happened here. So your problem is you update daily. We do not have 6 months of back video to post weekly. There you go, Akula. You're absolutely correct. Is Brittany the woman that cut your hair? No, Brittany did not cut my hair. Raw and uncut. Carl, we love you because you are realistic. I've learned more from your channel than any other, hands down. I'd rather watch the real life stuff than scuba diving and playing. Well, Brittany, to be honest with you, I'd really much record scuba diving and playing, but this is real life, so. I sail 75% of the time and sleep the other. Well, good for you, man. Tell it like it is. There you go, brother. Righto. My boat will be on the hard this season just to get it back into shape for next season. Only work, no sailing. Oh, that's the reality of it, Dick. Sometimes you just got to take a year off and get all the work done to the boat. So, I love Delos, but they don't even put out one video per week. Well, I think they do put out one a week, but maybe they miss some sometimes. Have to go feed the birds. Have a great night, everybody. Good night. Hey, Cam, take care, baby. It's still an airplane even when it's not flying. There you go, pilot. So, I've never scuba dived. Well, I have numerous times. Many times. Numerous of my dives have I dived. Well, they need a better PA over there. They're squeaking my ears, so. Rick Shire says, I gotta pick on you. There are no floors on a boat, a deck. You don't drive a boat, you pilot it. It's called a helm. Yeah, I know, Rick. That's what happens when you have a cousin who was in the Navy, you know? It's funny you fight with your audience to not deliver what they asked for. Well, Winded, I don't fight with anybody. I'm just telling you how it is. So maybe you want the moon and the stars. Maybe you want to hit the lottery, but it's not going to happen this week. So get over yourself. I wish my wife would feed me. I'm hungry. Felix, I do not have any tattoos, but I'm giving some strong consideration to getting some. So, have you ever had a scary dive? Yes, Brittany, I've had lots of scary dives. It's the nature of it, and I've survived each and every one of them. So, have you ever went to a pep store? I don't even know what a pep store is, would be. So no, I would have to think I have not. There's no rope on a boat. It's line. Pep Boys. Oh, okay. You mean like for tires or brakes or that kind of work on my boat? No, I've not gone there. So there are 2 floors on the boat. They are the ribs that span across the keel. Can you tell a story of one? Can I tell a story of one? Wow. I guess the worst, I really have, you know, okay, in retrospect, I have to admit, I really haven't had a whole lot of scary, thanks, dog. Fortunately, my drink was already empty, so not a problem. I really haven't had that many scary, I think the worst thing that ever happened to me was one time we were scuba diving. My wife's regulator quit working for her. For some reason, it stopped blowing air. And so she and I had to buddy breathe for a while as we worked our way back up to the surface. We started getting kind of low on air doing that, so we had to kind of sip on the air and not take deep breaths. In fact, as we got closer to the surface, I started breathing out of my BCD and taking air out of it, so I would leave more air out of the tank for her. But as it turned out, we had no problem whatsoever. We got to the surface. We had plenty of time for a surface interval to offload the nitrogen that we had, and you know, it wasn't a problem. It's just that you got to keep your head about you. The worst thing you can do while scuba diving is panic. You got to stay calm and think while you're doing stuff. So, okay. You're right, Carl. That boat isn't ready to sail. Take a couple of weeks and do it right. You're right, Randy. That's exactly what I'm doing. Sailor tattoos must be earned. Yep. There are 2 ropes on a sailing vessel, a bell rope and a foot rope. Okay. Darn dog, yeah. I don't watch your big channels. Understand that people enjoy progress. Enjoy your refit time in Port Washington with your friends and family. And no, plus that's what I'm doing. Yep. Long one tonight. Actually, we just went over the 1 hour mark. Just 34 seconds now over the 1 hour mark. Yes, that smell of tires drives my wife crazy. She loves it. Okay. In addition to decks, there are soles, cabin soles, and cockpit soles. Yep. Sailors can wear the shellback turtle when they get initiated to King Neptune's court after crossing the equator. Yep. Ceilings on a boat are not overhead. They are the inside walls, often made of narrow strips of wood. Okay, so we're all going to get into semantics on terminology around sailboats. But see, guys, here's the problem. I have a lot of people viewing my channel that are not up on all that terminology, and rather than confuse them and spend a great deal of my time trying to explain everything in detail, I tend to refer to things in layman's terms. So, and that's what I do. So I'm sorry if that offends you. Bill Carson says, get here late. Has Doug made his call to all the ships at sea? No, Bill hasn't. Doug hasn't even showed up tonight. I don't know where Doug is. So, Shellback, Blue Nose, and Golden Dragon here. There you go, Steve. Oh, Brittany says, hey, Lily. Felix says, thank you, Carl. Randy says, Todd is getting to the end of the Wikipedia. Has anyone been to Bermuda? If so, is it worth spending a week there? It is if you're heading south and going past Bermuda, or heading north and going past Bermuda. One of those terms are no longer used. Okay, the pointy end and the blunt end. There you go, Mike. Yeah. Otherwise known as the bow and stern. So, anyhow, kids, you are right. We have gone past the 1 hour mark, so we're going to go ahead and nip this in the butt. I appreciate everybody coming out and watching the live stream this evening. Me and Miss Lily are just having a joyous time living on the boat. Look at that beautiful sunset we're going to watch this evening. I'm going to go down below and mix myself up another white and stormy. And the dog and I are going to sit out here on the deck and enjoy watching this beautiful sunset as it happens tonight. And that's one of the joys of living on a boat and being able to be a cruiser. And then she and I are going to go down below and have a pleasant night on the boat. So that's what we're going to do. Beautiful sunset happening. And in the meantime, I hope you guys will check out down below. There's a link to my Patreon page should you want to become a patron. And also to my PayPal account should you want to contribute to the cause. Any contributions to the cause greatly appreciated. We certainly need the funds. So, and then the other thing I want to ask you guys to do while we're on here tonight before everybody disappears, Celie Shannon, one of our subscribers, is being admitted into the hospital tonight. They're going to try to do some work on him. He's getting a little bit of a rejection problem from a kidney transfer. So if you guys would keep Celie Shannon in your prayers, they're going to admit him into the hospital because he's rejecting his kidney. So that his wife gave him. So if you guys would keep Celie Shannon in your night, take good care of one another, and we will see you in the morning. Thanks, guys. Bye.